Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 16th of August. So, it appears that the US and China are going to hold trade talks later in August, which has made the markets a little bit happier at least. We'll see how that progresses. Not seen anything more written about Turkey this morning, so maybe that's come off the radar a little bit. So, looking at the euro dollar, overnight we've seen this a rally or a continuation of yesterday's move there from the lows. It's pushed on upwards here, it's run through its 21, 4 hourly 21. I was talking about this yesterday as a potential sort of point of a target sort of point if it does from the divergence, an initial one. Next point really, if it continues on this rally upwards, would be the weekly pivot, and the 50 MA would be the key point. Of course, the 34 may not let it pass too easily, but that said, the 21 didn't stop it. So we'll see how things run up here. But at the moment, that divergence is still sitting there. It did take another dip, or a continuation of a dip, yesterday. And pushed on lower, of course, but now more of a convincing change of direction here. Maybe it's certainly broken the short-term trend. So, yeah, looking more bullish there at the moment. Well, mildly bullish, I should say. The pound, well, it's done a similar-ish thing. It's not really found any support where it run down to as such. Maybe just short of the weekly S1, but it's still pushing up at the moment. Again, the divergence was sitting there, although wore off later on. It was sitting there earlier on. I think it when it broke at the 12 o'clock bar yesterday. It took away the divergence there as such, but anyway, that's heading upwards as well at the moment. Little else to be said there. Already daily pivot, almost S1. Target wise, coming back to that 4 hourly, or where to? Well, it too has still got it's still got its 21 to make yet, but if it can break that sort of area and be and follow the track of the euro. Maybe again, it hasn't actually touched the weekly pivot. It may still get up there and do that this week. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, it strengthened yesterday. It's softening again today at the moment. This is where the risk is back on and the markets are going into risk. It's just found some support off the 4 hourly 500 maybe. But at the moment, it's not really correlated with the other pairings. But as I say, this may just purely be a risk basis. If it does start getting a little bit more correlated, where to? Well, the lows from yesterday, S1 sort of area from today, would be half decent targets for it. But we'll see how that moves as the risk comes, or goes back on, I should say. People become take their money away from the yen. It could see further upside there. Aussie dollar may see a pip up on this, I would imagine. Yep, there we go. Even without looking at it, for the news of potential trade talks there, making this look a bit better now. It's very similar in terms of the picture to the euro here. There wasn't the divergence yesterday, but certainly we've got this upward movement coming into play now on this 4 hourly, broken its 21, and again similar targets in terms of the 50, the weekly pivot above. So all these a lot of these majors have got similar sort of targets to be heading for. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Now, of course, I've gone through this all with quite a bullish tone, because that's what we're seeing at the moment, and things may change this morning. But I do like the potential for a bit more of a bounce from these markets, or in this case, a sell-off. Now, the Canadian dollar shoved up yesterday, but the dollar strengthened further against the Canadian dollar. But again, we're seeing a bit of a retracement, a bit more of a slower retracement than what we saw um, yesterday. Let's just run through here. So yeah, certainly a slower retracement. It never did trigger any short side of things yesterday, but this could come back, but always a, as I say, iffy one first thing in the morning for me. But it does, I mean, it does look like it's broken its trend line. In fact, let's just draw that on there. Oh, not quite down to the trend line, so that 34 is a key point there, but there's a potential for that. It's got a lower high confirmed in, does at the moment. As I say, the dollar across the market looks like it, apart from the yen, it does look weaker, so maybe we'll get some continuation of that today. As I said, with the euro, the pound, etc., it just may be they've done their move for now. We get a retracement and potentially get a long from that point of view. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.